Now we are coming to the fourth lesson, that is from the diary of Annie Frank. So you have heard about the story or you have read the book Diary of a Young Girl. Diary of a Young Girl. Have you heard about it? Last year, not last year, 1 year before, it has been the detailed study, story writing, that is of 10th class. It has been selected as the detailed study book. So that time, this book has been taken as the book, that is the Diary of a Young Girl. So here, young girl is referred to Annie Frank. Understood? So here in this, she was at the age of 13. At the age of 13, she had started writing the diary. You know what is the use of writing diary? I hope some of you have the habit of writing diaries, isn't it? That means day-to-day events we are writing in a book. That means we are putting the date, time and the day-to-day events. Today, suppose you think today what all happened from morning till night. So in the night, after the whole day is over, at night we take into our memory all that events that have happened that particular day, isn't it? And we will note down it. We will write in that diary. It is the diary page. You are having for your exam also diary entry, isn't it? That means you are entering certain events or incidents in a page of a book. Similarly, diary here also this young girl at the age of 13, Annie, at the age of 13 she started writing the diary. And why? Because she did not have any true friends. So she started writing diary. So all those things that had happened throughout her life till the end of her life, she has dotted down in that diary. And after her death, the diary has been taken by her father Otto Frank, and he published that diary and named it as the diary of a young girl. That means, so why did she start writing diary? Means because she could not find a true friend. What do you mean by true friend? The friend with whom we can share everything, isn't it? We cannot share each and everything to anybody. Can we? No, we are not supposed to do that, isn't it? Our personal matters as well as other things we won't like to share with each and everybody. But according to Annie, she is saying papers are having more value than ordinary people because we can trust whom? We can trust papers than human beings. That is why she started writing the diary at the age of 13. Understood now? Now we will go through the lesson. From the diary of Annie Frank. So all these matters that is being mentioned in the lesson is described where is written where in the diary only. Understood? It is not being said by anybody. It is the whole incident and events and everything written by her itself. Understood now? Anneliese Maria Annie Frank, 12 June 1929, February, March 1940. So born in February in the year in June in the year 1929 and died 1945 March. Was a German born Jewish girl who wrote while in hiding with her family and 4 friends in Amsterdam during the German occupation of the Netherlands in World War II. So during the Second World War, this family along with others are living secretly or even living in a hidden area in a hidden place. And by that time she had no connection with anybody outside that place. So she started writing the diary. Understood now? Amsterdam during the German occupation of the Netherlands, when the Germans started occupying the Netherlands. Her family had moved to Amsterdam after the Nazis gained power in Germany. So now who is ruling over? Nazi power. Netherlands, as the persecutions against the Jewish population increased. Persecution means the chaos, the confusion, chaos and confusion, chaos. That means Nazis started doing destruction to these Jewish. Understood? And in Greece, the family went into hiding in July 1942. So they ran from the hands of these Nazi people and went in hiding place. A hidden room in her father Otto Frank's office building. Who is her father? Otto Frank. Her father. So he was working there in the office, and this family, they took shelter in that hiding office, room in the hiding. Understood? That means they all went for hiding because to escape from the hands of those Nazis. Yes. After 2 years in hiding, the group was betrayed and transported to the concentration camp system, where Annie died of typhus in Bengal, in Belgium, within days of her sister Margaret Franks. Her father Otto, the only survivor of the group, returned to Amsterdam after the war ended to find that a diary had been saved. Convinced that it was a unique record, he took action to have it published in English under the name The Diary of the Young Girl. So, Diary of a Young Girl, how did it came into existence? To escape from the hands of the Nazis, Otto Frank took his family to a hiding room in his office, and they were living there secretly. Understood? To escape from the destruction of the Nazis. Understood? So, while they were living there in that hidden place, after the war, he is the only survivor who had been, and he found the diary written by his daughter, and he knew that it is a unique record, that is an important record, and so important record of what? Of all what has been mentioned over there. That means the period, in between the period, how they are staying inside the secret shelter. Understood? So, he had no connection with anybody outside, because if they go out of their hiding place, they will be betrayed by whom? By the Nazis. So, he thought it is a important record and made it published under the name what? The Diary of a Young Girl. Here mentioned the young girl is whom only? His daughter Annie Frank. Understood now? The diary was given to Annie Frank for her 30th birthday, and chronicles the events of her life from 12 June 1942 until its final entry of 1st August 1944. So, the incidents which had happened from 12 June 1942 to 1st August 1944. It was eventually translated from its original Dutch into many languages and became one of the world's most widely read books. There have also been several films, television and theatrical productions, and even an opera. Opera means dance, drama, everything together, combined together, based on the diary. Described as the work of a mature and insightful mind, the diary provides an intimate examination of daily life under Nazi occupation, how the Nazi had treated the Jewish. Annie Frank had become one of the most renowned and discussed of the Holocaust victims. So, from the diary, we are able to know the incidents or the events in between which year? 1942 to 1944. In between 1942 to 1944. So, this 1944, these 2 years only they were living in the Eden area. Understood? Eden room. So, the first part of the lesson, this is a summary of the lessons, and now we are coming straight to the lesson. The first part of the text, it is being said, what do you mean by journal, diary, log and memories. Understood? And so options are also given over there. What do you mean by journal? Full record of a journey, a period of time or an event within every day, that is known as journal. Then diary, a book with a separate space or page for each day in which you write down your thoughts and feelings and what has happened on that day. Then log, a written record of events with the times and dates, usually official. In offices and all we can see the logbook. Then memory, record of a people, own life and experience, usually famous also. So this is the, which one? Memories of whom? Annie Frank. Understood now? And the questions. So these are questions which are being mentioned in the text. You have to do it in the text only. Understood? Now coming to the lesson. Writing in a diary is a really strange experience for someone like me. Me is whom? Me is, yes, Annie Frank. She herself is saying that writing in a diary is really something strange. Not only because I have never written anything before, but also because it seems to me that later on neither I nor anyone else will be interested in the music of the 13-year-old schoolgirl. So she thought, now maybe it is having no importance, but after some time it comes to an important for somebody who reads this. Understood? And this 13-year girl had written on, well, it doesn't matter. I feel like writing and I have an even greater need to get all kinds of things off my chest. So whatever it is there in her mind, she has to write it on the page. And that is why at the age of 13, when she is only 13 years old, started writing the diary, because not for anything, but the whole thing what is in her mind, she has to put it in a piece of paper. Paper has more patience than paper. So why did she start writing? Because she is saying people don't have a patience. That means very soon they will get angry, isn't it? But they are not out of control. But who is having the patience? Who never becomes uncontrollable? Paper. I thought of this saying on one of those days when I was feeling a little depressed and was sitting at home with my chin in my hands, bored and listless, wondering whether to stay in or go out. I finally swayed where I was brooding. Yes, paper does have more patience. And since I am not planning to let anyone else read this stiff-backed notebook grandly referred to as a diary, unless I should ever find a real friend, it probably won't make a bit of difference. So she is saying, paper has more patience than human being. I thought of the saying in one of those days when I was feeling a little depressed. So when she feels depressed, when she was sad, I was sitting at home with my chins in my hand. That means sitting alone at home with her hands at her chin, bored and listless, where we have no energy or no interest in doing anything. wondering whether to stay in or go out, whether to be at home or go out. Because at that time they are not able to go out. If they come in the eyes of whom? Nazis, they will be betrayed, isn't it? So they cannot come out of their hiding place also. I finally stayed where I was brooding. So she wanted, she should stay. Brooding means the place where she is taking shelter. Yes, paper does have more patience. That is why she is saying. So those years when she was not able to come out and see what is happening outside her hiding place, she was sitting at home, thinking boring, feeling boring, can't do anything. At that time, who was in her help? Paper was there for her help. That is how she started writing the diary. That is why also she said paper have more value, more patience. Thus more patience, and since I am not planning to let anyone else read this stiff-backed notebook grandly referred to as a diary. So I don't want anybody to read my diary unless I should never fix a real friend. Till I find a real friend, it probably won't make a bit of difference. So if I had a real friend, a true friend, there is no need of writing the diary, isn't it? So we can share each and everything with our true faithful friend. Because there is no friend, she had to share everything where? In paper. So she is saying it is good to have paper than any other people. Understood? So that is how she started writing the diary. Understood now? Now I am back to the point that prompted me to keep a diary in the first place. I don't have a friend. So why did she start writing diary? Because she don't have a true friend. Because she don't have a real friend. Can we trust everybody? Can we trust everybody? No, we cannot trust everybody, isn't it? Sometimes if we say something, they will leak out. They will go and say to somebody else. And what we had kept a secret may be passing from year to year, isn't it? So we cannot trust anyone. But if we are writing in a piece of paper and keeping it safe, it will be with us only, isn't it? It will not go to the next paper and share it. Understood now the difference? Writing in a piece of paper and telling that to a person. Both are different. Nowadays we cannot trust anybody, isn't it? Understood now? Let me put it more clearly, since no one will believe that a 13-year-old girl is completely alone in the world. So we cannot say that she was alone in the world. She was having her parents, she is having her sister, and some other neighbors also was there. So she was not the only girl living over there, isn't it? And I am not. That means she also is submitting that she is not living alone. I have loving parents and a 16-year-old sister. She is having her parents and a sister. And there are about 30 people I call friends. So along with them there were about 30 other members also. There are 30 people also, isn't it? So it is not, can we say that she is alone there? No, she was not alone in that hiding place, far away from the Nazis, isn't it? Far away from the other crowded area. So she, her parents, her sister, and along with them 30 other members also, other families also. There also children are there, isn't it? I can call friends. I have a family, loving aunts and a good home. No, on the surface I seem to have everything except my one true friend. So all these people, everybody are their parents, sister, then 30 other members were aunts, uncles and their children, cousins, everybody are there. Still she is saying she doesn't have a real friend. She don't have a real friend. All I think about when I am with a friend is having a good time. So going with them and enjoying, it is a good time for her. I can't bring myself to talk about everything but ordinary everyday things. So every one of us are having our personal secrets, isn't it? We cannot share that to each and everybody. So Annie also is saying that she is mingling with, she is going and talking with all other people. And when we talk with other people, we are talking only about the ordinary things, what is happening around us. We are not opening our mind to them. Can we open our mind to a large crowd? No, we are not opening our mind. What we are keeping inside our mind, we cannot open it, isn't it? We cannot share it with a huge crowd. So she is saying, when she is having friends, she is having a good time with them. But talks are only ordinary talks. We don't seem to be able to get any closer, and that is the problem. That means everyone are coming, joining, having fun, having talks, and they are dispersing, isn't it? But I have nobody to share my mind with. Understood? Maybe it is my fault that we don't confide in each other. That means we are not confiding in each other. We are not trusting. Confiding means trust. We are not trusting anybody. In any case, that is just how things are. And unfortunately, they are not liable to change. This is why I have started the diary. So now you understood, you got the idea how she started writing the diary at the age of 13. Yes, because she was not alone. Her parents were there. She is having a sister. And about 30 other members also were there. All are staying in that hiding shelter, isn't it? And they all are having fun over there. She is talking with each and everyone. But only ordinary talks are there. But she was not able to open her mind to anybody. She could not find a real friend among them where she could share her mind, isn't it? That is why she is saying she could not find a true friend there, and that had made her write the diary. That is how 13-year-old Annie started writing diary. Understood now how she started writing diary? To enhance the image of this long-awaited friend in my imagination, I don't want to jot down. Jot means write down the facts in this diary the way most people would do. But I want the diary to be my friend, and I am going to call this friend Kitty. So she said everything as everybody do. That means her writing in the diary means you used to write each and everything what is happening on particular day, isn't it? So she is saying I don't want to write all those things, everything as every people does in their diary, but certain things I have to write because I had accepted my diary as my true friend. That means only to a true friend I can open my mind. And so that she had named her diary friend as a Kitty, given the name as a Kitty. So who is Kitty now? Kitty is her diary. Still, it is her best friend. Understood? Since no one would understand a word of my stories to Kitty if I were to plunk right in. Plunk means go in deep. Go into deep. Plunk means go into deep. Go into deep. Right in. I could better provide a brief sketch of my life, much as I dislike doing so. So even though I don't like to give a sketch of my life, still I am giving because directly I don't want to go into my, which one? To my events fully. Understood? Now she is saying about her family. My father, the most adorable person, father I have ever seen, most honorable person she had ever seen, did not marry my mother until he was 36 and she was 25. So her father was 36 when he got married with her mother. 25. My mother Margaret. Who was the mother? Margaret. Was born in Frankfurt in Germany in 1926. I was born on 12th June 1929. So when was she born? 12th June 1929. I lived in Frankfurt until I was 4. So up to the age of 4, she was living with her mother's family. My father emigrated to Holland. Emigrated means transferred to Holland in 1933. My mother, Edith Hollinger Frank, went with him to Holland in September, while Margaret and I were sent to Aachen to stay with our grandmother. Margaret went. So Margaret is her sister. Understood? Who was born. Who was the mother? Edith Hollinger Frank. This is sister and mother. This is father. Understood? So only sister Margaret, then Otto Frank is her father, and Edith Hollinger Frank is her mother. So after 4, father had transferred to Holland, and they all with the family went to Holland, and followed in February when I was plunked down on the table as a birthday present for Margaret. I started right away at the Montessori nursery school. There she was put in the nursery school, Montessori. I stayed there until I was 6, at which time I started in the first form. In the 6th form, my teacher was Mrs. Corporus, the headmistress. At the end of the year, we were both in tears as we said a heartbreaking farewell. So a very good teacher she was having, isn't it? Who was the teacher in that school? Mrs. Corporus. She has been the headmistress also. 6th form, my teacher, when she came to the 6th class, teacher was Mrs. Corporus, headmistress of the school, Montessori nursery school. At the end of the year, we were both in tears as we said a heartbreaking. So at the end of the year, we both were in tears. Who were both? Teacher and the student, isn't it? Because that much love and affection was given to her and was given back also by her to her teacher. So at the time when they were separating, farewell means separating, what happened? They felt that sadness. In the summer of 1941, grandma fell ill and had to have an operation. So my birthday passed with a little celebration. So on that particular year, grandmother fell ill and she had to undergo a operation. So that time Annie's birthday was not celebrated wonderfully. Grandma died in January 1942. The next year she died. No one knows how often I think of her and still love her, but nobody knows how much she loved her grandmother. This birthday celebration in 1942 was intended to make up for the other, and grandma's candle was lit along with the. So how we can come to know that she loved her grandmother? During her birthdays. During whose birthdays? Annie's birthdays. What did she do? She lit an extra candle in memory of whom? In memory of her grandmother. Why in memory of her grandmother? To show her love towards her, isn't it? Because in the year 1941, when her birthday was celebrating, how was it? Grandmother felt ill and she was undergoing an operation. So the birthday party was not wonderful, isn't it? Only a little celebration was there. So later that, the next year she died also. So that love, how much she loved her grandmother is seen whenever her birthday falls, she used to lit an extra candle among the others to make remember of whom? Grandmother. The four of us are still doing well, and that brings me to the present date of 20 June 1942 and the solemn dedication of my diary. So that is the life history of Annie Frank, the family of Annie Frank. Otto Frank was the father, then Edith Hollanda Frank is her mother, and Margaret is her sister, and among her parents and sister, about 30 other members also were staying in that hidden shelter. Though she was having many friends and fun and everything over there, she could not share her secrets or secrets of the mind to everyone. That means she has to find a real friend, isn't it? A true friend. So she had started that true friend. She was not able to find a true friend. So she called her diary as a Kitty, her best friend. Who is her best friend? Kitty, the diary itself. Understood now? Now, dearest Kitty. Now she is saying about the incidents when she was studying in the school. Our entire class is squawking in its boots. Squawking in the boots means shaking with fear and nervousness. Shaking with the fear. The reason, of course, is the forthcoming meeting in which the teachers decide who will move up to the next form and who will be kept back. So now she is writing, and the class is squawking in boots. That means squawking means shaking in squawking. Boots shaking means legs are shaking, fearing. Why? Now the time had come for the promotion. Time had come for the promotion. It is usual in the case of every student, isn't it? It is usual in the case of every student. After writing the exam and waiting for the result, wanted to know whether you are promoted to the next class or not, isn't it? So this time had come over there, and everyone are having that fear to know who all are going to the next class and who all are going to be detained. Understood? So every student is having that fear in them. When the teachers decide who will move up to the next form and who will be kept who will be kept in the same class and who will be sent to the other class. Half the class is making bets. So in between the students, how are they? They making bets that usually you also will make, that I will go or you will be failed, isn't it? So that problem is there in every case, isn't it? Half the class is making bets. Gian and I laugh ourselves silly at the two boys behind us. Cian and Jacques, who had staked their entire holiday savings on their bet, even keeping the money also, spending the money also, with the money also. From morning to night, it is you are going to pass. No, I am not. Yes, you are. No, I am not. So this is the talk that was going on among the students. So keeping the money in front of them, and they are betting each other and saying that you will be detained in the class, I will be passed to the next class. And then the opposition will say you will be detained and I will go. So that debate was going on among the students. You are going, even she is pleading glances and my angry outburst can't calm them down. So angrily I looked at them because they are making such an argument. If you ask me, there are so many dummies, about a quarter of the class should be kept back. But teachers are the most unpredictable creatures on the earth. Why teachers are called the unpredictable? Predictable means which cannot be predicted. Unpredictable, which cannot be predicted, isn't it? So saying that teachers are unpredictable because the whole result of the students are in the hands of whom? Are in the hands of the teachers. So teachers has to decide whether such a students has to be promoted or not. Yes or no? Do you agree to that? Yes, because you write the exams and your results are in the hands of whom? The results are in the hands of your teacher, isn't it? And your teacher will think our teacher has to make sure among you all who all has to go to the next class and who all has to be detained, who all have to be kept in the same class. Isn't it? That is why it is said teachers are unpredictable. That means nobody can predict a teacher. I am not so worried about my girlfriends and myself. As far as Annie is concerned, she was not at all worried. We will make it. Somehow we will manage it. The only subject I am not sure about is maths. So she was weak in maths. Anyway, all we can do is wait. Until then, we kept telling each other not to lose heart. So she was saying, we can wait because all the results are in the hands of whom? The hands of teachers. So we will wait till the teachers announce the result. Isn't it? There is no need of fighting or arguing in between. I get along pretty well with all my teachers. That means I am a good student among all in the hands of the teachers. There are 9 of them, 7 men and 2 women. My Mr. Keesing, the only fogey who teaches maths, was annoyed with me for ages because I talked so much. So Mr. Keesing, the maths teacher, was little annoyed about whom? Annie, because throughout the class she was in the habit of talking. Like you all, when the teacher is going on with the lesson, you do your work. That means talking, isn't it? In between I can also see you talk in between while the class is going on. So Annie, as far as Annie is considered, she was a talkative girl. In which period? In the period of maths period. So in the maths period, if you neglect your class by spending talking, what will happen? You will not be able to grasp anything in the maths. Because I talked so much. After several warnings, he assigned me extra homework. So, teacher Mr. Keesing had warned her many times, given her warning many times, and had given her homework also, extra homework. An essay on the subject, a chatterbox. First one, you write a topic on who, what subject? Chatterbox. Chatter means talkative. A chatterbox, what can you write about that? I could worry about that later, I decided. I jotted down the title in my notebook, tucked it in my bag and tried to keep quiet. So, I don't know, she first topic was given to her, chatterbox. So, she thought what to write about chatterbox. That means chatterbox means talkative, isn't it? What to write about the talkative. She somehow she wrote the topic and came to school the next day. That evening, after I had finished the rest of my homework, the note about the essay caught my eye. I began thinking about the subject while chewing the tip of my fountain pen. Anyone would ramble on the leave big spaces between the words. But the trick was to come up with a convincing argument to prove the necessity of talking. So, if any other student is there, they will write anything, talkative. Being a chatterbox, they will write anything like that. But she wanted to make a confined argument saying that what is the need of becoming a talkative. I thought and suddenly I had an idea. I wrote the 3 pages. How many pages she has written? 3 pages. Mr. Keesing had assigned me and was satisfied. Given to Max sir and he was satisfied. I argued that talking is a student's trait and that I would do my best to keep it under control. So she has written about 3 pages on the topic chatterbox. 3 pages chatterbox. First one is chatterbox. So about the 3 box, chatter itself says the name that talkative, isn't it? Because she was talkative, the topic was given chatterbox. So she has written 3 pages saying that what is the need of being talkative, and had said that it is a student's trait. It is the need of a student to be talkative and it cannot be controlled. It cannot be controlled. But that I could never be able to cure myself or the habit since my mother talked as much as I did, if not more, and that there is not much you can do about inherited traits. According to Annie, this talkative habit trait she had inherited from her mother. Inherited means got from the mother. That means the mother's nature also was talkative. So she is saying it is being inherited from her mother. It has been passed from her mother's nature to her daughter, isn't it? So it cannot be done. We cannot do anything against it. Inheritance, isn't it? We cannot passing from one generation to the next. So her mother is also talkative, and that is why she also had become talkative. And she will try her best to control it. Understood? Mr. Keesing had a good laugh at my argument. So he was satisfied with the argument of whom? Annie. But when I proceeded to talk my way through the next lesson, he assigned me a second essay. So again, she was doing the same, only being talkative in the class. Again, what is being given to her? Assignments one after the other was given to her. Now the second topic was an incorrigible chatterbox, something that cannot be controlled, cannot be controlled or corrected. I handed it in and Mr. Keesing had nothing to complain about for 2 whole lessons. However, during the third lesson, he would finally had enough. Annie Frank, as punishment for talking in class, write an essay titled Quack Quack Quack, said Mrs. Chatterbox. So the third topic was given to her. So first one chatterbox, second one incorrigible chatterbox, and the third one quack quack quack. So all these 3 assignments was given to her based on what being talkative in the class. But still she did not stop talking in the class, and she has written the topics, essays on all these topics and given to him. Understood? If you were there, you will not do, isn't it? But she has done that. The class roared. I had to laugh too, though I had not nearly exhausted my ingenuity on the topic of chatterbox. So one after the other, she has the same topic only. It was time to come up with something else, something original. My friend Sain, who is good at poetry, offered to help me write the essay from beginning to end in verse, and I jumped for joy. Mr. Keesing was trying to play a joke on me with this ridiculous subject, but I would make sure the joke was on him. So actually the sir was trying to make fun of whom? Annie, but she had done back to him, isn't it? Because she did not stop writing the essays, she continued writing the assignments given by Mr. Keesing, and the arguments were safe in her hands. I finished my poem and it was beautiful. It was about a mother duck and that means quack quack quack. A father swan with 3 baby ducklings who were beaten to death by the father because they cocked too much. They made too much sound. The baby ducklings were killed by whom? By the father. Luckily, Mr. Keesing took the joke the right way. He read the poem to the class, adding his own comments and to several other classes as well. Since then, I have been allowed to talk and haven't been assigned any extra homework. On the contrary, Mr. Keesing always making jokes these days. So that is how she has written the third poem. What was the third poem? Quack 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 chatterbox, isn't it? So in that she had made a story of a mother, father and 3 ducklings. Because they are making too much sound, what did the father do? He killed all the baby ducklings. And this had made Mr. Keesing, the maths teacher, annoyed, isn't it? He felt ashamed. He felt ashamed that he had made such punishments to Annie, isn't it? And later on, what did he say? You talk in the class as much as you can, and everything he had taken into fun. Humorously, he has taken a talkative in the class. Understood now? So now we have come to the end. So this is only a part of a life history of Annie Frank is being given to you. So if you are able to get the text Annie Frank, that means Diary of a Young Girl, try to read it. You will get the remaining also, how she has been studying and taking her degrees till the end of the life. You can see in that textbook. So certain questions and answers are also is there, and we will see, and certain exercises which are being given to you while giving your notes, page numbers, text page numbers are given. In those page numbers text also, that you have to do it in your textbook. Mark the answers in your textbook, and I have given only starting of the questions. You complete the questions looking at your textbook and then you start writing the answers. Understood?